Hi and welcome. Today we'll be painting a black-capped chickadee on a beach stone. I always begin with a layer of gesso, and once that dries really well, I start my first layer, which today is Mars Black and Ultramarine Blue. I'm just laying in the dark areas of the feathers. And on the wings there's a lighter gray tone, so I just watered down the same color. Now I'm mixing up the color for the base on the chest area. For the eye color I use a little burnt umber mixed with black. And once that's dry I'll add some black areas. I just want to darken in around some of the areas on the chest so it makes it look like it's in the shadow. I'll be doing quite a few layers on the chest, making sure to let them dry thoroughly between each coat. Here I'm adding some white feathers, which I'll go over later with a wash. That just gives them a little bit more of a three-dimensional appearance. I'm gradually building up the shadow areas with just some light washes, and I make sure that I let those dry between each coat. I'm starting the frame by just doing the outlines. A little shadow underneath in black, just a fine one, and I'll be building this up with layers also. Once I have the line work done in the frame, I start working on the shadows, building up the layers. Don't try to get it too dark the first time. You want it to have a natural blending. I also darken in my original line work too. Here I'm just starting to outline the bird's foot. Once it's dry, I'll come back in later with some more layers. Here I'm going over the whole frame with a light bluish gray color. Then I start darkening in my shadow areas again. I'm blending a color that's a little bit closer to the natural stone underneath. I water that down and I did a whole wash over the top of the whole frame. And now I'm just hitting the shadow areas again. Here I'm using some titanium white for the highlights in the frame. This will fade a little bit more translucent and I'll have to go over it a few times. But it really does make the frame look a little bit more 3D. Since I want the frame to have a stone-like appearance, I'm just kind of dabbing in the white in the lighter areas. This gives it just a little bit of a rougher look. Now as soon as he's dry, I'll give him a couple coats of acrylic varnish and he'll be ready to go. I really appreciate you watching my video. If you have any suggestions for me, I'm still learning the filming process. I would really appreciate you leaving them in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and happy painting.